Hey guys, it's Scott with Scottie B Cards, and in this video we're going to torture test some graded cards. I have released this video at I believe May of 2021. It was just a few months after I made my channel, and it was one of my favorite videos I ever made. It actually took a lot of time and actually cost quite a bit for all the stuff we used. So I thought, because not many people have seen it and I wanted to release a video this week, I didn't have the time to actually film a new one. I thought this would be a good time to release this video and show you how these different grading companies can protect your cards. So thank you for watching the channel. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Guys, it's finally here. I paid $1,500 for this card. Huge PC card. I think you're gonna love it. I'm gonna do a slow reveal for you. Ready? Oh, okay, it may not have been a $1,500 card. It was just this 2003 Vernon Wells, but I wanted to prove a point for this video because in this video, we're gonna see which of the three major grading companies protects your cards the most. The way we're gonna do this is 3 simulations: a fire, a flood, and the drop test, and we'll see which cards survive the best in which case. Before we get into the video, if you are a sports card, baseball card fan, then this channel is for you. We post 3 times each and every week exclusively about baseball cards and sports cards. So if you enjoy that type of content, like and subscribe. I promise it'll be well worth it. But other than that, guys, let's jump into the video. Okay, so the first test that we're gonna be doing is a flood test. So I have in this Igloo cooler, not sponsored by Igloo, but if you wanna sponsor me, hit me up. The first test we're gonna do is we're gonna put each a BGS, a PSA, and an SGC slabbed card into the water. It's about 8 inches deep. We'll do it first for about 5 minutes, and then we'll do it overnight as well to see if it gets in eventually. So here goes the first card. It's a Beckett BGS card. Feels dirty doing this. By the way, I'm only doing this for as a learning opportunity, so don't be offended. I just want to show everybody what cases are the best, and that's about it. Here's a PSA card. Also floats. All right, and an SGC card. Well, that's not good. That thing sunk to the bottom, which makes me think that the water got in instantly. Anyways, we'll come back in a few minutes and see if any water has gotten in.
5 minutes later.
All right, guys, it has been 5 minutes. Let's see how they did. Oh, man. Ruben Mateo's not doing too hot down there, is he? This looks fine. Yeah, I don't think any water got inside of it. Good job, PSA. That's how BGS did. It looks like it's just on the outside. Swiping on my shirt real quick. Yeah, it looks like it's good. I don't have very much faith in this SGC card right now. And again, this is a small sample size. It's literally 1 card. So take it with a grain of salt, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of see. Let me grab a towel real quick. Oh yeah. You can see the card is legitimately water just all in on the sides. On the sides, on the edges, all over on the black. So I don't know if it's this one case or if it's all SGC slabs. This one did not hold up well. Doesn't look like there's any cracks or anything on it. Did not pass the 5-minute test. These 3, I'm gonna leave them overnight now, just to kind of see how they do for long term. If they were in your home and the house flooded for a while, we'll let you know tomorrow morning how it all looks. All right, guys, so it has been 14 hours since we put these cards in, and let's take a peek on how they did. My guess is that their BGS and PSA cases will be fine. SGC case is already done for, but let's kind of take a peek and see. They look good. You can see the bubbles underneath where they've been sitting forever. Okay, let's pull it out. First one, PSA. No water on the inside. I'm pretty impressed, to be honest with you. Next one is BGS. This one is the one I think will have the least water damage, even if the case was cracked, because it has an internal sealed sleeve as well. But overall, no water got inside. These are kind of sealed by the grading companies, but yeah, no water at all. And then SGC, way down in the bottom. That one has some water in it. Oh yeah, the entire back of the card has water damage. You can see a little bit of an air bubble right there to kind of give you an idea that that's the only spot that isn't wet on the back. So SGC did not pass the test. So I give these 2 passing grades. SGC got a failing grade. Okay, on to the next test. All right, guys, so now we're gonna be doing a drop test. This drop test, we're gonna be dropping this from arm's length just to show what it would do if it was a regular drop at your house. After which, if they're still surviving, we might go a little bit higher just to see what it takes to break these cards. We'll do the BGS graded card first. Took a little chunk off right there. Not too bad. Card looks like it's completely fine. Look at the actual condition. The card looks good. Okay, here goes the SGC. I don't see any damage. You can see it hit right there. The card itself looks okay, actually. All right, good job, SGC. PSA. Oh. Yeah, this one had a good chunk taken out of the bottom too. And you can see on this bottom, you can see where it hit on the bottom of the card because it hit that bumper. There's a little bit of an indent on the entire bottom edge. So that's one thing about PSA I don't love, because they have these these bumpers that don't go all the way across. They're not really super protected. The card can have serious edge and corner damage. Okay, so I would say for the short test, the case that actually stood up the best was the SGC case. The one that protected the card the best is a tie between BGS and SGC, and the one that really didn't stand up very well and it had edge issues was the PSA card. Now we're gonna do a little bit higher drop test just to see what they can handle. All right, guys, we're gonna be doing a little bit higher of a drop test. We're on the 4th floor of a parking garage, and so you can see if you look over the edge, this is what it will be hitting. All right, here goes PSA. Wow, that thing held up, the case at least. Ready for SGC? Wow, they're right next to each other. Okay, this one I think is gonna explode, BGS. All right, not bad. So here's the results of the 40-foot fall they just had. It really makes me wonder how in the heck the cards in eBay are so cracked and scratched and stuff, because yes, there's damage, but it's not as bad as I expected. So let's just look at each card in the order I threw them. Here's the Steve Kemp. The first thing I want to say is the actual edge issue that we had upstairs is like a little bit worse, but it's not that much more amplified than when I dropped it slightly. The case handled it really well. I think it's just because it's so light and flimsy that it didn't really hit as hard, and the case itself still has like some structure to it. So PSA did a really good job of withstanding that fall. Next up, we have this Ruben Mateo, and the card just getting grosser and grosser because of that water damage. But the case itself did good. You know, it actually kind of exploded a little bit. Instead of like popping things out, it just kind of like crystallized a little bit. So here's the card. The card, it's hard to tell if there's any damage because it's kind of swollen from the water. But overall, it looks like the card didn't really get any edge wear or anything at all. So this case held up even better. I'm starting to think the SGC cases are really durable. The next one is Beckett, and the Beckett plastic they use, it hit that corner and just popped off. This card is perfectly fine. The condition of the card is safe. But overall, this one had the most reaction to the fall. So I would just say if you're gonna throw a card off of a 40-foot fall, don't throw a Beckett card. Okay guys, for this next test, we're doing a fire test. So we built a fire. We are gonna use this lockbox. We're gonna throw a BGS, PSA, and SGC card in there. Put it on the fire for 15 minutes and see if it does anything. After that, we're also got a cooking sheet. If this doesn't have any effect, we'll also see which one will melt the fastest and damage the card the quickest. So just a little, like 2 minutes in, you can see that the safe plastic is melting off, which does not leave me too confident about the cards on the inside. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes and the fire's raging pretty good, but also I don't know how we're gonna get the safe open. It's just melting everywhere. We are 10 minutes in and I am really interested to see how this safe held up. Even if it's not just for the cards, but just to know how it works in general, because that fire has melted the outside pretty good. I'm interested to see if it's held up on the inside. All right, so it's been 15 minutes, which is what this safe is rated for. So let's push it out now onto the pavement and water it off and see how it did. Oh, I heard the cards bounce around in there. Oh, might even just open by itself. All right. Sorry, SGC. All right, guys, so just checking out the safe after we got the cards out. It sat for probably 3 or 4 minutes. It's still super hot to the touch. I think if they'd been there any longer, they would have started to melt, but heck, this safe, they said it's rated for 15 minutes and it lasted 15 minutes. But because I wanted to promise seeing which one of these is the most durable with fire, we're gonna be putting these on a cookie sheet and just seeing which one melts the fastest. Okay, so I just wanted to look at the cards a little bit before we put these onto the fire. The SGC discolored really quickly. You can see their slab is actually really dark and it's not anything but on the inside. The card itself looks okay. It looks a little darker maybe in the hollow foil. The Terrell Davis, if I can get some of the suit off, you can see the card's still really white underneath and it's a little darker, but not much. The Beckett slab looks pretty much the same, just a tiny bit darker, but the SGC case really darkened. So just something to note. All right, here we go. We're gonna put these cards on. Oh, this feels terrible, but it's for knowledge. I'm so sorry. So sorry, everybody. Okay, so we're already seeing that the SGC slab, it's probably maybe on like the hottest part, but they're all pretty equal. It's melting bad already. The SGC card, and the PSA starting to melt. The Beckett card is really holding out still. It's starting to melt in this bottom corner, but the SGC, it's completely blackened. Look at the cookie sheets. Oh my gosh. So I don't even think this is the hottest part. Wow, PSA's gone. There goes the PSA card. Man, look at BGS. Oh no. Oh no. Terrell, David Terrell, bro. Oh, I guess the Beckett is catching on fire now. So without a doubt, if I was gonna have to have one of these in a fire, I'd want the BGS slab because it lasted by far the longest. Granted, it's the one on fire right now. Okay, so we pulled it out and doused it off, and that's what happens if you have your cards in a fire. The SGC went first, then the PSA, and then the BGS. So pretty interesting. So here are the 3 cards. You can still tell this is a PSA card. You can't really tell. You can see right there the Beckett label, but this SGC card, all you have is a label. And other than that, you can't really see what's going on. You can see his face right there though. So the card still survives slightly. This one by far did the best overall with the fire test. PSA did second best, SGC started to melt, and then first, then PSA went right after and it bent up real quick because the plastic is so thin. But BGS did really well, but once it started to melt, it caught on fire. So take that for what it's worth. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Overall, again, like and subscribe, and you'll be seeing more videos like this soon. 3 at once. I don't think they did very good.